Don't know me, Alan Nagao from Honolulu, Hawaii. 24 years I own a kite business. 1995, I found a system to sell yo-yos. Very simple idea. 10 tricks, they become white belt, like karate. 10 more tricks, yellow, green, eventually black belt. In 1997, I bring this idea to Japan with the hopes to sell 1 million yo-yos in Japan. I made $1 a yo-yo, so I was looking for the American dream, $1 million a year. I missed my target. In 1997-98, sold 10.5 million yo-yos in Japan. And suddenly, I had financial freedom. I had, the ability to pay off my home, do wonderful things. But then, I'm thinking about 4 years. In 3 years, I sold 30 million yo-yos globally, and I retired at 39 years old. And then I decide, what's next for me in life. After 4 years of retirement, I was not happy with retirement, and I started the new skin business. But what I'm going to tell you is probably, not the story you would typically hear. Because people think, oh, he was always successful. He was born under a lucky star. I even heard my sister say that one day, and I corrected her right away. Because, you gotta be kidding, I think it's this one, am I down, right? Or this one, okay. So, I was born in Hawaii, but I was born with a handicap. I was born without a leg, and maybe you guys can see that here. I was born without a leg, and it was due to a drug that was given to my mom during pregnancy. It was a prescription drug, but it caused a lot of people my age, I'm 52 right now, with this exact same kind of handicap, without legs, without arms, or little flippers on the side. And I had to wear this helmet because I would be learning how to use my leg and walking, and suddenly it wasn't there, and I would literally be on the ground, or I'd walk too close to the steps and I'd be on the bottom without even knowing it. So I had to wear that helmet. So if you could imagine my life during elementary school getting teased almost every day, peg leg and hop along, and they would tag me out and I couldn't catch them because I couldn't run. So I remember my mom picking me up in the 3rd grade and saying, "What's wrong, Alan?" And I say, "I'm so tired. I've been teased almost every day. I've been teased nonstop from the time I get to school to the time I get home. And I'm so tired." Can you imagine what I was thinking of my future? My life? What was that going to look like? And I was, always the last one picked on teams. When the teams are getting picked, they're going, and finally it's the last person. Oh no, we're going to get Alan. And it was like the team that got me were all like, oh. Like they already lost. How would you feel in that position? I can tell you that, think about what my mindset was for my future. And things started to change when I became in high school, sophomore year of high school. I realized I love to surf. And in order to get down to the water, I had to hop down the beach. Boing, 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 splash in the water. Once I was in the water, I was like everybody else. But getting in the water, I hated when people would stare as I was boing, 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 boing down the beach. And when you're in a sophomore in high school, you know how you hate when people stare at you? I really hated that, but I had to decide whether I was going to do what I love to do, or was I going to let what other people thought or did control what I did. You will probably be in the same position if you decide to really take new skin on. You'll decide to either have your dreams or have what other people say control what you do or have. And I can tell you, I was not the greatest student in high school. In fact, my mom was so glad I even graduated on time. Like, she was like, "You're graduating on time!" She was so happy. But I surfed almost every day. And so what I'm saying is, the greatest things in life come because of just doing what you love to do. And I think, for me, it's loving my family, loving my kids. This is my world. And I realized that I wanted to be successful, and I started studying success. I started studying and reading about success. Kind of early on, I ran my own kite business, but then I met my mentor. My mentor named Joseph Green. My mentor was 88 years old when I met him. He was born in 1897. He was tutored by a man named Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill, anybody know that name? The book Think and Grow Rich, #1 book on success training ever published, is from Napoleon Hill. Well, my mentor had decades together with Napoleon Hill, learning the art and success training that Napoleon Hill was delivering in the 30s and 40s. And then became a Dale Carnegie instructor, and I was tutored by my mentor. I had a chance to meet Joseph Green, and then became second generation to Napoleon Hill. Wow. And yeah. And I studied really hard with my mentor to learn everything I could. And I gotta say that when you have a mentor in your new skin business, study everything and do everything they say, and you'll be much ahead of the game. Now, recently I've been to Philip Chung and his seminar, and I know Margaret's downline over here in front of me, and he really reminded me so much. So I'm going to cover some of his thoughts, but I'm going to cover first of all what my mentor taught me. And the first thing really is about this idea of thinking. And I want you to copy this diagram on a paper, and I want you to then hang, when I'm finished with this diagram, in front of you when you get up, the first thing you see. Now, when my mentor said that to me, I thought, well, I'll put it on my mirror. But then I thought, the first thing I probably see is the ceiling of my bed, right, above my bed. So if you want to put it in front of you, maybe the first thing you see might be actually your ceiling above your bed. Now, I'm going to be talking about these 4 types of thinkers, and the first, you might notice that number 4, the one on the right, doesn't have any stars. Stars represent goals. Number 4 doesn't have any stars, doesn't have any goals, so they start going after what they want, but they don't know what they want. They have no goals, and so therefore they just stop. They literally just stop before they get to their obstacle. No reason to do that. Now, you may be thinking, I have goals, but in new skin, sometimes as a leader, you lose track of your own goals. Anybody has lost track of their goals during this process, right? So I'm talking to you as well, okay? Even though this may not apply to you right at this moment. When you get there, my mentor always said, commit your goals to paper. And that means that you will live what you said you wanted, or what you wrote down that you wanted most of your new skin life. Probably 80% of your new skin life, you might not know what you really want. So you gotta go after what you said you wanted at an exciting time, maybe like right after this conference, okay? So number 3 type of thinking is a little different. They have goals. Problem? They go after their goal, and when they get into the obstacle, they literally stop and change their goal. And they keep on doing this process, and they set the next goal. Maybe it's like, I want to be a Ruby executive, and I want to go to Jackson Hole. All of a sudden, it's getting tough, and a month before the qualification ends for Jackson Hole, they go, you know what, I want to learn the piano. Right? And they start, you know what, I actually don't think I want to do that. I want to go after and become karate expert. And they keep on changing their goals. Every time they do this, they become focused on the next goal, next goal, next goal. Anybody recognize this person? Yes. Maybe yourself? Okay? We call this spaghetti brain. Okay? Focus is very important, but you heard it today many times. Single-mindedness is the most important. Single-mindedness. So number 2 thinker is going really focused. The problem is the number 2 thinker is focused on the obstacle, the problem. They're focused on the problem, and if you're focused on something, what happens? What you focus on grows. That's correct. And so the problem gets bigger. Oh, the problem is a lot bigger than I thought. Yeah, you know what? $1,299. It got $100 more expensive for the LTO. Right? It's bigger than I thought. And pretty soon you keep on focusing on the problems, and what happens? You become the problem. Okay? You're no longer smiling and dialing, you become the problem. Okay? And once you lose that energy, you're done. So number 1 thinker is the only way. Now, I'm not saying that number 1 thinkers don't have obstacles. They do. But when they hit their obstacle, they continue focusing on the goal. It's one day before the qualification for Jackson Hole, and they're working like crazy on the goal because they're focused to get their goal. And yes, some people don't get their goal. They reset it again, and they're much closer, and they just keep on doing it. Is that true or not? I hear the front row clapping. You don't always get your goals. Trust me, I didn't always get my goals. But if you continue to focus on that single goal to become a Ruby executive, you will become a Ruby executive. And then you will move to Diamond and Blue Diamond. So I hope you guys can get the idea here of what we're talking about. Trying to click forward, help, okay. So I'm going to give you a tool right now. This tool is in all of the manual starter packs. It's online, you can see it. But it is, I'm going to read this out to you. It is, and you need a specific date. I recommend 1 year from now. It is April 25th, 2015, and I want you to write this down. And you write your first and last name in there. Alan Nagao. I'm so happy and grateful. Now that I'm receiving, and you write down the exact amount of money you want to receive in 1 year. Now, a good point to start is like basically double the most you've ever made. That's a good point to start. Don't pick a goal 10 times bigger, because it's maybe too much for you to take in one bite. Doubling is possible. So just take double your current income, write it in blank. Per month in my global new skin enterprise business, I accomplished my 3 threes, 3 new contacts a day, 3 three-way presentations a day, and 3 new customers each week. I experience joy each day knowing that what I'm doing is being of service to others and to myself. I want you to write these words down in your notes. These are going to go into your thing. If you're the playful type of person with lots of energy, how many of you are that type? We call them monkeys. Who's the monkeys in here, right? Okay. Those monkeys in here, you want to have words like discipline, punctual, responsible in that line that says, I am up. It's behaviors I need more of. If you're the elephant personality, the thinkers, you want wild, spontaneous, sexy, okay? If you are the personality type we call lions, you're dominant, king of the jungle. You tend to be a little impatient. So we're gonna write words that you need, like patient, vulnerable, flexible. Did you guys get some words down yet? Maybe you're a dolphin and you love people and you just love to help all kinds of people, but you never do things for yourself. You don't know how to say no. Any of you in that category, dolphins? Okay, dolphin personalities, you want words like powerful, strong, leader, confident, those kinds of words. Everybody got a few words down? This is a workshop and I want you guys to have something to take away from it. You're going to then write down some goals for yourself. Dolphins, you need goals for yourself. Okay, this is really difficult for dolphins. Not for your family, for you. Maybe a massage every week. Maybe some time to read, some time to do what you want to do. So you're going to write some goals for your family, and maybe some goals for the world. And then write down, thank you, God, for it is done. Just know you don't have to do it all by yourself. So this is the statement. This is the most important thing, instruction I'm going to give you right now. State it out loud twice a day, every day. This is really critical. And when you state it with emotion. So I'm going to actually do the next part of the process. You're going to write this down. You're going to laminate it and put it in your bath. And then in the morning and at night, state it out loud. I put copies in my dashboard, in my car. So, you know, when you're out there, you got the air conditioning running, just yell it as loud as you can. Now, Angelica and Fabio in Colombia, they're team elites now, would do this, except they didn't have a car, they had a motorcycle. So they keep on telling me that people in Colombia think one of two things. In Cucuta, they think either they're really crazy or they're amazing leaders. There's only two types of people there. Which one does not matter. It's who you attract. Guess who they attract? The people just like themselves. So I'm going to cover the last two things that I want you guys to do. And this is called the self-confidence formula. And I'm just going to do it the way I do it every day. And notice, it's memorized, because if you do it every day, twice a day, guess what happens? You memorize it. But I'm going to give you the tip. The tip is to say the number really loudly before you do it. So I will say the word first. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I hereby promise to render such action. Second, I know that the dominating thoughts of my mind will gradually transform themselves into outward physical action, and eventually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know through the principles of auto-suggestion, any thought or desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I devote 10 minutes daily to the demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I've clearly written down the description of my definite chief aim in life, and I shall never stop trying until I shall develop sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use on the cooperation of other people. I induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by creating love for all humanity. Because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and in myself. I sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it out loud twice daily with full faith that it gradually transforms my thoughts and actions so that I'm a self-reliant and successful team elite leader. So I was with Philip, and you know, he's a lion, because he's a team elite. And he said, see your success before you succeed. See your success. I want you to write that down. See your success before you succeed. This is the most important tool I picked up from his seminar. Because if you can see your success, you will never quit. Imagine you can see that you're going to be $1 Million Circle member in, let's say, 2 years. Let's say 3 years. Would you quit right now? You would never quit. Your belief would be through the roof. The only secret you have to do is learn to see your success before you succeed. Visualize the perfect end result. Dream. So we're talking about dreaming of that type 5 personality. Bill talked about 4 types. But I'm going to give you one more, because it's not only having time freedom and money freedom. It's having health. Yes or no? Yes. It's having happiness and love. Success is never an accident. It's a deliberate creation that happens first in our mind. I want you guys to understand what isn't is more important than what is. Seeing your success before you succeed means don't look at what is around you right now. Look at what the future is, and you will have the most important tool. So we're talking about this kind of success. I'm going to take you, and if you could just run the video real quick. I just want to tell you that for myself, you know, it's about having not only the freedom. I ran my own business. For 30 years I owned my own business. And I think you guys got to play the video on the screen too. I never had the kind of time to take long vacations. 27 days I was able to go out, spending time with my family. You know, this is one of my downline here, owns a tiger sanctuary. Can you imagine what kind of experiences you want to give to your kids? What would you love to give to your kids? You know, we didn't have any things to do during our vacation. 27 days, our only objective was to go north. When we found a place we liked, we just stayed there long periods of time. When we were out on our vacation, I had only two main objectives. I asked my kids to figure out what they're good at. And then, let's figure out what we're going to do for the world with what you're good at. That's all I did. What are you good at, Evan? What are you good at, Aiden? And then let's figure that out. And then how are we going to serve the world? You know, I don't talk to my kids about jobs.